And joining us now is trial lawyer and legal analyst Richard Schoenstein. Richard, great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll dive right in. We've got so much to get to in this case. DOJ lawyers have said they will seek the death penalty if Mangione is convicted. His lawyers have asked a federal judge to block the DOJ from doing so, arguing essentially that this is a political stunt, that the jury pool is tainted. What do you make of the moves on both sides, and how do you see it playing out?
So I don't think what we're going to get is any kind of swift resolution of this death penalty issue. You are correct. The prosecutors have filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. They list aggravating factors, both under applicable statutes and not under the statutes, that would support an application for the death penalty. And it's far too early to make a decision one way or the other about whether or not the death penalty should be invoked in this case. I mean, you wouldn't even decide until and unless you got a guilty verdict. You wouldn't bring that issue to the jury. So I don't see it being resolved now. Is it a political stunt? Well, the last time a federal execution happened in New York was 1954. So that might be relevant to the consideration.
Well, I appreciate that context. Again, this unprecedented support for Mangione has been something that's been making headlines ever since he was arrested. You heard Laura there reporting donations now to his defense fund have exceeded $1 million. How do you see those funds factoring into this case?
So I don't have any information that he needs money, which is one thing that's always confused me about this. He has excellent lawyers representing him. One of the finest criminal defense lawyers he could get is his lead lawyer. I haven't heard that he's having any problem paying her or other lawyers. He seems to come from a well-to-do family. So I don't know why people are throwing all this money at him. There are plenty of people in the criminal justice system who can't afford a lawyer, who are there desperately, who need help, who could better use that money. So I'm a little bit confused about it myself.
And from this aspect as well, how challenging do you see it being to seat an unbiased jury in this case?
I think it'll be a little bit challenging. It's a very notable case. It's been in the news, but this is New York City. We have the best jurors anywhere in the world. We have people who come to jury duty. In fact, I'm on jury duty starting the week after next. But people, generally speaking, come to jury duty prepared to not form an opinion until they hear all the evidence and the judge's opinion, and they really work hard. So I think you'll be able, not too difficult, to get 12 jurors who will consider this case on the merits.
Federal charges, and I want to get into the weeds for just a minute because I think this is a really interesting aspect. They include stalking. The indictment alleges Mangione traveled by bus. During that travel, stalked and murdered Brian Thompson. Now, some legal experts have pointed out the challenge of proving that Brian Thompson was allegedly not only stalked by Mangione, but that he knew about it, saying essentially if there is a problem proving the stalking element, that they cannot convict him of murder. How central will stalking be to this case? And what's your analysis as you look at the counts?
So stalking is the most difficult component of the case. Remember, that's what gets you in the door to federal court. This isn't a federal offense except for the stalking element. Otherwise, it's just a state crime, which is being prosecuted by the New York State prosecutors, which does not carry any possibility of the death penalty. So stalking gets you into federal court and is the only way we're even talking about the death penalty. And it adds a difficult component. Was he stalking a person by just knowing where he was and then going and killing him if the allegations are correct? Is that stalking? I think that will be difficult to establish to a jury.
And to prove as well. Richard Schoenstein, always great to have you, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here.
And President